Now I am officially pissed off. Like, comment, subscribe if you're new here. We now have Asmongold calling Ludwig out for being a spineless little what, jellyfish? Yeah, that sounds about right. Jellyfish Ludwig. Better yet, Slugwig. We have Asmongold calling out Slugwig, and as well as we have XQC calling out Ludwig. Apparently, there's been a lot of issues and drama bubbling underneath the surface on every facet of the internet, and we're going to be covering all this shit because Ludwig once again is trying very hard to make this personal with me. So congratulations, Ludwig, you have my attention. Isn't this so much fun? You could have kept your mouth shut, but you fucking didn't. It's very easy, guys, and I will say it once again. I am sorry for enabling an alcoholic and putting my friends in danger near this person, as well as my friend in danger. Very easy. Move forward. Say, going forward, I will be more responsible with my parties. That is all you had to say. Now let's get on with what happened between Ludwig and Asmongold. I'm actually unfamiliar with what happened here.
Was black. So that is woke and not a game I'll play.
Hey everyone, Arc Raiders is coming October 13th.
So you trying to make me look bad because of my chat, but you don't want to look bad because of your friend that you told to drink alcohol at your party for drinking alcohol that sexually harassed your coworkers? Now, I just find that to be interesting.
Asmongold, I too find it very interesting how Slugwig has once again skirted accountability for himself. However, at the same time, trying to damn every single one else in a less, a less damning position that he himself found himself in. So let me just correct what's going on here. So Asmongold was reacting to a trailer for the Video Game Awards, and the Arc Raiders trailer came on, where there is a black female protagonist. Now, I want to make this very clear. When this black female protagonist came on, Asmongold said absolutely nothing. He said absolutely nothing. His chat spammed DEI. DEI obviously mean diversity hire due to the fact that she's black in a space where, or a black female, usually in a space dominated by men and, well, let's be honest, Asian women. So obviously people would spam DEI as usually a joke or just some people just being edgy because they like being dickheads on the internet. And Ludwig is trying to publicly shame Asmongold for having a chat that would say DEI to a black female character in a video game that doesn't fucking exist, and believes that Asmongold should be held responsible and shamed for having that same chat. Now, what's really strange about this, guys, what's really strange about all this is then Ludwig says that he is going to skirt all accountability, skirt all issues that he has, and say that he has no accountability for his friend of, I believe, 13 years in a party that he ran with his friends of many. Hold up, 1 second. We're talking about LA streamers. His friends that he's had for multiple years, enabling him with more alcohol, get him to a 0.32, near lethal levels of alcoholism, and then his friends sexually harass multiple women. And Ludwig says, well, not my problem, not my fault. But if Asmongold's chat typed DEI, what a spineless little liar you are. What a Weasley little liar, dude. What a spineless jellyfish you are, Slugwig. Casting judgment on all of these people when you yourself have done so much worse. Ludwig, do you want to know who you should be going after right now? Why don't you go ahead and look in the fucking mirror, buddy? This is reaching critical levels of delusion, critical levels of hypocrisy, and it's honestly shocking it's gotten this bad. Let's keep going.
I do. You trying to put me on blast and make me look bad because some people in my chat said some dumbass bullshit.
Mm-hmm. And Asmongold said nothing. He said nothing to encourage that behavior when you yourself said, and I quote, let's up those numbers! When he's 0.08 away from being in lethal ranges of alcohol poisoning and death, while he's going around humping pillows near women. Yeah, congratulations, man.
But here you are.
Yep.
And that's your friend. You invited that guy.
Yep. That's your man's. That is your man's.
You knew he was drunk. You knew he was crazy drunk. You knew he was blood alcohol poisoning level drunk.
Yep.
And you were gassing him up.
Yep.
But the moment that I watch a trailer and I don't say a single thing
Nope. Says nothing.
at all
At all. Nothing.
about anything problematic about the trailer in any capacity,
Zero.
you're trying to farm hate on me.
Yep. Imagine that. Willing to farm hate on everybody else. Well, everybody talks about how good of a guy he is. You want to know why people say how good of a guy Ludwig is? Is because he's a ringleader. He's a kingpin. He's a guy who wants to host event after event after event, and so many other content creators want to participate in those events. So they won't call you out on your hypocrisy. They won't call you out on your malpractice, but you know what your weakness is, Ludwig? People who don't give a fuck about that shit. People who don't need that shit. People who don't want to participate in the LA friend group. Friend group. Disingenuous as shit. Once again, I want to make it very clear. I'm not sticking up for Mango in any capacity. I'm not. I'm just trying to get the guy help. That's it. And people should be ashamed that this whole situation happened. But yeah,
I
keep it
wonder
in.
which one is worse.
Yeah.
People saying DEI in the comments section or real.
Yo, chat, what's worse, guys? Someone typing DEI or encouraging your friend to kill himself with alcohol and letting him sexually harass women? Which one do you think's worse, guys? Type 1. You know which one it is. Yeah, typing DEI is way worse. True. Yeah, I'm on Team Slugwig. W Slugwig, man.
Life sexual harassment and alcohol poisoning.
Yep. Yep.
Damn, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess the jury's out.
We're going to have to figure it out.
Oh,
Yep.
oh.
Oof.
I get it. You want to joke around, that's fine. But if you're going to joke around at my expense,
He's going to joke back.
I've got some jokes too.
Yep. Very, very, very true. Why don't we stay in our lane, buddy boy? There's a reason why you canceled Mogul Mail. It's because you can't handle this shit. So why don't you simmer the fuck down and you stay in your own fucking lane? XQC goes next.
Let's talk about it how it actually is. I'm not
Right.
gonna bring up a names. I'm not making a big deal. I don't give a fuck what anybody says about this. Okay, here's the actual take that people haven't been saying. Okay, when the thing happened, nobody does anything. It was like, oh wow, this is kind of crazy. Whatever. Then they wait for the fucking internet reaction. They go, oh, everybody's saying this is really bad, and then they go, guys, this is so bad. I will not stand for this.
Let me translate this. So what he said was, so what he's saying is, when the issues happened on stream, everybody knew it was an issue. Nobody said shit. Nobody tried to address anything until the internet freaked the fuck out about it. And then they all of a sudden said, oh man, it's so bad. So what XUC is saying, everyone is disingenuous because all of these problems that they claim they know are problems, they don't talk about it until they're forced to. Nobody does it out of their own will. They only do it because they're forced into a position, not because they actually care. Of which I would like to say, again, XUC, big W, take care. Good for him.
Where were you when it happened, buddy?
Yep.
Where were you when it
Where was he? He was right next to the fucking guy, X. He was right next to the fucking guy.
actually mattered? Nobody ever does anything when it actually matters.
Yep.
And if you're the one who does it, people will turn on you and say, dude, you're burning your bridges. You're being weird. Dude, you're making something out of nothing. Dude, you're weird. But if you're
So now what he's saying is, let me translate for anybody who doesn't understand. So now he's saying the LA crowd and the streamer crowd is so fucking fake that streamers have been conditioned to not address anything until the internet has forced them to. Because if you draw attention to something you genuinely feel bad about before you actually are forced to talk about it, then people will say that you're burning bridges and they won't want to talk to you because they were hoping you would slide underneath the radar because streamers don't understand basic accountability and basic empathy. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's keep going here.
internet said it's bad afterwards,
Yep.
then jump on it. Bro, it's fucking weird.
Yep.
I am so tired of this shit. It's I've had enough of this
To
shit. man.
happen, there's some degree of accountability there. But
There was people there. People probably were solid clips over there. Everybody, yeah, they were drunk. It's not an excuse. Okay, there's always some people that are either tipsy or normal or there or whatever.
Now, I will obviously say I am not a big fan of the, oh, babe, I didn't know what I was doing. I was drunk. But you got to understand, not giving anybody an out or anything. But the levels that Mango was at was fucking insane. Like being tipsy, little couple drinks, you're in full control. But at that level, it's bad, bro. It's bad. But still, no excuses whatsoever.
Everybody sees it. Bro, I could be fucking absolutely zoned the fuck out, GG.
Yep.
And I feel like I can still see things at least somewhat clearly when it goes up. Bro, no way that nobody there. Just stop.
Yeah, no, I'll be real. Now, I have been shit-faced one time. I was attempting to kill myself when I was 18 years old. I took a bottle of 98 proof spiced Scotch rum. It was called Kraken. And I downed a bottle and a half of it. I don't even remember doing anything past the first 3 shots. Just being completely real, I don't remember anything past the first 3 shots. I was very depressed. I was trying to kill myself. Didn't work. Unlucky for you guys. My friends as well who were there, one was, well, they were both very depressed over getting broken up with a girl, and another one was very depressed because of a girl. Moral of the story is, guys, don't talk to women. They only cause problems. But yeah, there are certain levels that you can get to where you just genuinely have no idea what the fuck's going on. And then I vomited 17 times already over my house. And then I sit down and play League of Legends, and I shit my pants next to my 2 friends while I was playing Twitch bottom. And then I had to skirt to the bathroom and clean myself before they noticed that I just absolutely took a whole ass dump in my underwear.
No shot.
You know, like, I know plenty of people that get drunk and they don't sexually harass women.
Yeah, true.
I'm not saying I would have done anything. I'm just saying, just don't.
But you defend Destiny?
Act like you did
defend
it
Destiny.
right the first time.
You're gonna get pulled up.
Oh, uh-oh.
All right.
Oh. Pull him up. Yep.
Explain yourself.
Get him. PvP enabled.
Explain yourself about Destiny.
Get his ass. Get his ass.
When do I defend Destiny?
You remember shitting, though? Well, shitting was after, right? The night of, I don't remember. It was the morning after I remember shitting.
Because I don't think Ludwig is a bad actor. I just think in a lot of cases, like, he just tries to appeal to everybody. He tries to be like a good friend and what he thinks is a good friend. And sometimes it's just you're gonna fall into no man's land. Like, you're gonna try to have a good take and have friends and look good, and sometimes you're not gonna land on any island. You're just gonna fall right down the middle. It's not gonna happen very often, but when it does, you're just gonna be defenseless, and that's what it looks like right now. It sucks, but it's the way it is.
People's morals. Like, Ludwig goes and pulls up my chat to try to make.
So what XUC is saying here is that Ludwig is a brainless coward that gets all of his takes handcrafted to him by his daddy Hassan. And it's very much like Baby No Money's Twitter account. Any take that you want him to say, that the public majority wants you to say, he'll say, even if he doesn't fucking believe it. Like, for example, so here's the big W's that you can score on Twitter. If you say you are pro A, or if you're against AI, massive fucking W's, big W's. Any popular take that will score him internet good boy points, he will pick immediately. Ludwig doesn't have any type of mental wherewithal to actually say how he feels. He will just say what he knows it is that you want him to say. And that's what XUC is saying here right now. And once again, you can totally disagree with me. I don't care. I know what you guys want me to say, and that's fuck Ludwig and everything he stands for, but let's be real. Out of all the people who are the big problems on Twitch, like the Hassan, like the Denims, like the Mike from PAs, Ludwig's down here. There's a lot of bad people on Twitch. Ludwig's down here. But the events that he just did that have occurred between him and his friend group and to him and his friends are disgusting. They put people's life at risk. They put people's safety at risk. And I'll be real, guys, let's stop doing these gay-ass 12-year-old parties where we stream alcohol-abusing parties. What are we doing, guys? We're in our 30s. We're in our 30s, and we're streaming this shit. How about we do some things offline, guys? How about we do some things offline? Wouldn't that be great? Ludwig is just a snake. He's a coward, and he's spineless. But regardless, he needs to take accountability for his own actions, and that's the bottom line, because people could have been seriously hurt, and a lot of people have left with a lot of emotional, uncomfortabilities. And I'll leave it at that. I'm out of here. I don't feel like milking this shit anymore. Just for the love of God, hope to Christ I can fucking move on after this. But yeah, that's it. I'm out. Peace.